Anyway, joining us now with reaction, Fox News contributor, former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich. Okay, we have followed together a lot of elections, a lot of them. I was the MC the night you became Speaker. Republicans out of power for 40 years. Never can I think of in the last 150 years have we ever had a midterm this unpredictable with uncharted waters, because there's never been one major party that's gone this radical. How do you analyze this?
No, I think you are exactly correct. I've been doing a lot of thinking about it. I have to tell you, none of the recent post-World War II patterns fit here. Very straightforward. You have a very strong president doing very bold things. If they work, and you begin to see gasoline come down, the economy's rolling, if it works, then you go into an election where the choice is going to be between a common sense, productive Republican Party and a Democratic Party, which is increasingly crazy. It's a combination of big government socialism and very weird social values. And I think people don't realize yet that when you start pulling together all the pieces of the modern Democratic Party, it's literally verges on being crazy. Because we do a project, Sean, called America's New Majority Project, where we've done polling since 2018, originally created by Bernie Marcos. And we're looking for 75, 80, 85% issues. What we're finding is the Mondamis of the world, the AOCs of the world, they're down at 10 or 15%, but they're in extremely Democratic districts, or they're up against really weak opponents. The fact is, when we get to, I'll give you an example. I sent out today on X and on social media, does Mondami think that Madison Square Garden should be at 78 degrees during the wedding this weekend? Now, I guarantee you, think about it. You think Taylor's going to want to stand there sweating? And
no, nor should she.
But here's the big lesson. Socialism takes power from you. They take care of the powerful. They take care of the guys with connections, and they rip off the rest of us. So Mondami is saying their policies block them from creating enough electricity to have normal American level air conditioning where you get to pick what you're willing to have in your house. So instead, they're going to try to impose across all of New York City a 78-degree uniform temperature unless you're powerful, you're famous, and then, of course, there's an exception.
Well, it's like Jimmy Carter saying, put on a sweater and lower your heat to like 65 degrees in the middle of winter. Americans didn't quite like that style. So let me give you an example. So, well, go ahead, what?
I just have to say this. Remember the setting. You have Carter in a sweater in front of a fireplace, and we learned later they had air conditioning on. I mean, you cannot get more phony than that.
Okay, so now they're the party of Graham Plattner, they're the party of El Saya, they're the party of Tallarico, they're the party of Bernie Sanders, Pocahontas, Mamdani, AOC, the Squad. So, Mamdani goes out and he challenges 3 incumbents. One woman that wins, this is her platform, and she's called for the government to seize the means of production, the government to seize private property, people's homes. She's called for police to be completely abolished. She wants to abolish all American prisons, American borders, and even if you're an illegal alien convicted of murder and rape, you shouldn't be deported. Okay, those are these are the type of people that are winning. So that's part A of my question. Part B is Hakeem Jeffries comes out and congratulates this woman. Chuck Schumer says nothing. Not one Democrat, but for John Fetterman, dares to speak out against this lunacy. The only one. What does that say about the party?
Well, I mean, you're watching the collapse of the oldest political party in the world. Democratic Party goes all the way back to Thomas Jefferson. And what you're seeing right now is that nobody who has common sense has the courage to stand up to people who are objectively crazy. I mean, it's not like they have the wrong ideas or the wrong ideology. They live on a planet that doesn't exist. You start talking about seizing the means of production, which was a great phrase if you're Vladimir Lenin or if you're Mao Zedong. But who in America is going to vote for that? They talk about they want totally open borders. We ran that experiment. It was called the Biden administration. It was totally repudiated. They want one of their platform planks, totally eliminate the police. Now, first of all, anybody who lives in a big city that has lots of criminals has to say to themselves, will I really be safer if, in fact, my left-wing crazy friends abolish the police? And, of course, the answer is going to be no. So I think you could be drifting towards one of the most decisively defined elections in American history. And we're working on a platform of the American people, issues where you're at 80, 85% support versus people who are crazy. And I think that could be what the core of the campaign is this fall.
If not one mainstream Democrat or leader in the Democratic Party will challenge the crazy, that's kind of a half-hearted endorsement. Or they just fear, I think Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries actually believe that if they appease the people that are radical in the party, that somehow they will remain, I guess, minority leaders in name only. But I'll tell you, in my opinion, I think their days are numbered. Last word.
Well, I think they are numbered. James Carville, Democratic consultant, came out the other day and said, these people should not be in the Democratic caucus. Every Democrat in the country should be asked, are you going to vote to have these crazy people in your caucus, or are you going to vote to exclude them? Very straightforward, yes or no.
He's pretty crazy himself lately. He's lost it a little bit. Speaker Gingrich, thank you. We appreciate you being with us. All right. Now